Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Hello, everybody. This is your Geek Out for Wednesday, July 31st, 2012. The Geek Out is once again brought to you by GoToAssist from Citrix. You can take control of your IT world from one simple cloud-based platform. GoToAssist proactive alerting allows you to fix small issues before they become big problems. For a free 30-day trial, visit GoToAssist.com, click the Try It Free button, and use the promo code Pirillo. T-Mobile's new Samsung Galaxy S3 is going to be leaving the palm of my hand today. It's the last day to play Spin to Win. Your chance to win one of these, T-Mobile's new Samsung Galaxy S3, the last day, today. So click the link. It's in the video's description. Spin to win. How vulnerable is your email? If you didn't catch it on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, I shared an interview I did with an old friend of mine, Stu. He runs a company, KnowBe4, and the company trains people to better avoid any kind of vulnerability, any security hole. And I learned real quickly after stepping through his educational program that I would have made a few mistakes. He's been working with Kevin Mitnick to develop this training program. In fact, one of Kevin's latest videos I've linked in this video description. Like the video you're watching now, there's a link in the description for Kevin Mitnick. He's still doing videos. Doing quite well, I would add, as well. I put a link for the interview in there. You can get a better idea of how much your security is at risk. You may think you've got security covered, and you might. The problem is you work with other people, and you're only going to be as secure as they are secure. So you owe it to them and yourself to help educate, to make sure that they do not fall victim to the next vulnerability. Stu tried to compromise me, and he would have succeeded had my intellect not caught. Actually, no, I wasn't that smart. I kind of didn't pass the test that he put in front of me. I did my best! NBC's Olympic streaming failure is Pirate Bay's gain. When are traditional media companies going to learn? We would be willing to pay for something that was painless. But they want to make it painful, all right? They want to control. Stop trying to control things that really aren't controllable. I mean, you can control them. It's just that people are going to work their way around the system that you put in place, you know, your control, in huge air quotes there, because it's just an illusion. And people are watching the Olympics the way they want to watch the Olympics, not the way one company says the Olympics have to be watched this way. What kind of draconian system are we operating in? They're so completely out of touch with the needs of the people who want to support them. Let me put it to you this way. I'm not a huge sports fan, but let's say a company said, all right, we're going to let you watch as much as you want to watch the Olympics. It'll just be $20. If I was a sports fan, I'd pay that. In fact, some sports fans pay more than that on a regular basis to access the sports they want to see. So it's not an issue of spending money. It's an issue of these media companies just don't freaking get it. Google Nexus 7 review, goodbye Amazon Kindle Fire. When Amazon releases the next iteration of the Kindle Fire, and it likely will, at least according to rumors, they may up the ante. But at this point in time, for a 7-inch tablet, I would say Google is leading that race. There's no doubt about it. For $200 starting price point, you get a great tablet experience. Most of the software that you would want to use is probably already available on Google Play, which is Google's app store. Although they're not calling it the app store, it pretty much, that's what it is. And $200 is a nice price point for a workable screen, a very good platform, and a growing list of accessible media. The one thing that Amazon has over Google is Prime. So I can stream content on Amazon Prime using Amazon's Kindle Fire. Of course, I could use my web browser. It's not as interesting to you, potentially, if you do not have Amazon Prime where you live, or just, no matter where you live, if you don't have a subscription. I happen to have a subscription. It pays for itself. I would hope that Amazon would allow me to watch Prime content on something other than a Kindle device or a web browser. Although now, with OS X Mountain Lion, I can use AirPlay to put something on my screen and sneeze it up to an Apple TV connected to a larger device, like a real TV. So if you had a choice today, which would you go with? It depends. How to find the name of a song on iOS or Android. I've used SoundHound. I've used Shazam. In fact, I think I got Shazam for free at a Starbucks like last year. They give out free apps every so often and free music and free media. It's one reason I like going, not to mention the espresso that I'm kind of addicted to. I think the bottom line is that you need to start thinking of your smartphone as more than just a phone. This is a gateway for everything. In fact, I used Shazam this morning. I wanted to pull up a Moxie Fruvas song. I couldn't remember the title, but I remember how, I was trying to sing it. Unfortunately, it did not have it in its memory banks, or I really suck at singing. But that was nice to be able to, and then it would have guessed. It's just that, sadly, there are not enough Moxie Fruvas fans in the world. The Dark Knight's Journey. I admit that I have not yet seen The Dark Knight. I am a fan of Batman and action movies and superhero movies in general, even the campy ones. I think it would be really hard to top the Joker, or at least the Joker as portrayed in the most recent Batman movie. Heath Ledger did, I would say, it was a breakthrough performance. Any other Batman fans in the audience? We've got a story just for you. Teachers get help with lesson planning from LearnBoost. My degree is in English education, and those who've been following me know that. When I was going through college, I loved playing with new media, although we didn't call it new media. I don't even remember if we call it multimedia. But we had to deal with things like transparencies and microfiche. It wasn't fun. It was kind of a pain in the neck. But that's the most technology we had. Now, granted, the internet was just starting to come around, and I saw promise in what the internet could do for education and used it as much as I possibly could when I was in the student teaching process. We're talking about like early 90s. This is a while back. It was fun. And so now when I see all of these tools and software and platforms available to educators from all around the world, I am taken aback. I think that more teachers should embrace technology. I'm so happy that my brother Ben is in education. He is teaching kids, keeping those bright minds ever sharpened, and he's always looking for ways to make his lessons have more impact, including using technology. How to view Skype conversation history. You think I'm nuts. You think that nobody would know how to do that, but people are asking, hey Chris, how do you view Skype conversation history? Well, we answered the question for you. It is pretty simple, although I'm not going to step you through the tutorial right now because it's better done in screenshots so that you can read along. My dad likes that, right? I can explain to something in video or we can talk on the phone, but he wants to see instructions that he can print out and write down, and that's exactly why we crafted an article just for you. It's linked in this description below what you can see in this video itself. Here. Microsoft launches Outlook.com to replace Hotmail. Take a look. Seriously, log in with your Hotmail credentials. It's available right now, and it's slick. It's a good experience. I mean, I would say that as far as experience goes, Outlook.com, the new Hotmail, or whatever they really want to brand it as, and I think it's going to be Outlook because that's a part of their Microsoft suite and blah, 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 seems to be on the surface a better user experience than Gmail. I never liked Gmail, the user experience, and they've changed it over the years. It's just, yeah. I love Google Docs. Don't get me wrong. But Outlook.com, I would say, would have my attention if I was a webmail user primarily, and I'm not. I have an Exchange server that I have managed by a company. I would prefer to pay someone to manage email. Thank you. I don't want to get away with these free services. Outlook.com is a better user experience than Gmail. Some people disagree. It's all relative, right? I just never liked Gmail's interface. I've tried changing it up, tried making it just kind of meh. I don't. It's not for me. I like the way Microsoft did it. So sue me, but don't sue me. You can't sue. What are you going to sue me? He disagrees with me. Lawsuit. Class action. Hulu Plus arrives on Apple TV. Another reason that some of you may be cutting the cord. I do have an Apple. Actually, I have two Apple TVs. Enjoy my Apple TV, although they're previous generation, not the newer ones that can push 1080p content. And again, I only have like a couple of 1080p television screens in my house. The other HD screens are 720p, so it would have been overkill. But the bottom line is, now with Netflix, iTunes, Hulu on the Apple TV device, you're given all the more reason to dump your existing television provider. Now, maybe Amazon will port Prime at some point. I would hope they would. Or maybe Apple is getting ready to unleash a greater part of the Apple TV platform and allowing companies to develop apps for Apple TV. In fact, I'll make a prediction. There's been no rumors. I'm not trying to start a rumor, but I'd make a prediction that, yeah, it goes without saying that Apple can, should, and likely will release the ability to develop apps for the Apple TV. And then, game over. Spotify launches unlimited free radio for Android users in the US. Yay! Sorry about that if you're outside the US. Didn't even realize that there's countries outside the US. Uganda, Schenectady. No, wait, that's a city. It's in the US. Amazon updates Cloud Player, scan and match imports, 256 kbps audio upgrades, and premium accounts. I'm a little disappointed, though, in the announcement. They're separating Cloud Drive from the Cloud Player. And I pay for a Prime subscription, something like $80 a year, 2-day shipping that usually comes bundled, and it more than pays for itself like within a month. Access to content, the streaming content on Prime. Why not lump in my Cloud Player abilities instead of having to pay another $25 a year to Amazon? Why not just lump it in to Prime? I mean, why? I'm sure because people are spending money, but as soon as Google does something similar, and it has kind of, it's just the Cloud Player is more easily accessible from iOS devices in an official capacity, from the web browser. It's easy to upload, get from, all that stuff. Google's not quite there yet if you don't live already inside the world of Google, and I don't fully live inside of the world of Google. I like being cross-platform. I know, I'm crazy that way. Facebook introducing Save for Later feature. Great. Now all I gotta do is find content on Facebook that I'd want to save for later. YouTube viewer Rick Nelson writes, if you want a more female audience, you will have to speak less of the deep down tech nuts and more of the color options. My wife likes technology, but she doesn't care to know how or why it works. If it works, she is happy. Otherwise, she throws it at me and says, fix it. I got my wife into watching your vlogs daily now, and I found out she watches the Geek Outs from time to time too. So maybe there's hope. Well, that's kind of a generalization. I think because your wife does that, that's fine. But I know of couples who have the male in the family throw the technology to the female because the female can take care of it because the female cares about technology. I think the bottom line is as long as your message resonates with someone else, that's really all that matters. YouTube viewer Silverio Vicente II writes, I am looking to buy a new desktop soon. Should I buy one now and upgrade to Windows 8 for $15, or should I just wait until the end of October to buy one? Thanks. Love the Daily Geek Outs. Well, I apologize first if I slaughtered your first or last name, but I do want to address something with you. If you find a great sale today, I would say get the computer now. If you're not finding any sales, like back-to-school specials or what have you, you can wait. I mean, unless you really, really need it, and unless you see an amazing, amazing bargain, and you know that there's not going to be a release not long after you buy the computer, which is one of the reasons why computers go on sale is because a new one's right around the corner. I've been telling people, as far as desktop PCs are concerned, to wait if you can. YouTube viewer Jaden Vasquez writes, wait, no mention of Google Fiber? I thought you would say something about that, especially the free option. Well, apparently you're not following me on Twitter and Facebook and Google+, because I most certainly said something about Google Fiber. Like, I had no idea that Google was getting into the cereal business. On LockerGnome.net, Abo Luna writes, why are batteries not getting improved on devices? I think the battery technology is improving. It's just that the cost may be prohibitive for a manufacturer. I mean, yeah, you may have an amazing battery over here, but if it increases your cost, why would you add it to a product when the users that you're going after just don't care as much as other users might? So you got to know your market. Who you're marketing the product to, and you gotta know your costs. Hey, it's snowing in July. We'll see you later. One of the things that I enjoyed most, I was gonna tell him, Wicket, give me a second. Just stop jumping the gun. I know.